How y'all doing out there today? Once again, it's your boy, Keo Collins. My Surrender Is Never. It's the name of my first book, Volume 1, My Surrender Is Never. You can find that at lulu.com or on me. If you're a Springfield native, Springfield, Mass. Whoop, 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 go Springfield. Lulu.com, Lulu.com, KeoUghCollins. Y'all gonna learn my name sooner or later, man. I just throw it out there again. I thank God for another opportunity to talk to y'all. Hopefully it's beneficial. My last thing that I did was slavery. The last topic that I spoke on was called slavery. I think it went well. I think it was right where it needed to be at. I try to be down to earth. I try to be on people's level. I don't want to be over nobody's head. If I'm trying to show or share or teach somebody something about a subject, and I'm using big words and intellect and so many big words and so much intellect that you don't understand, what was the benefit? There's no benefit in that. I'm not getting nothing out of it except to boast a big head, thinking that I did something that I didn't really do. As God sees no benefit, and you don't benefit because you like, man, I didn't get that shit. I didn't even understand what he was talking about. So I think slavery was good. You could check it out. It was right on the level. You know what I'm saying? That's my goal. That's what I'm trying to be, right on the level with all my videos. So I'm gonna try to be right on the level again on a different topic. Today I want to speak of serving God. My statement that I want to make is that we all serve God. God made it impossible for us not to serve him. I'm talking about the atheist, the drug dealer, all of us, we serve God. I'm talking about, like I said, people who think they ain't serving God. The crackhead, the mistress, the husband, the wife, black, blue, white, brown, whatever ethnicity, whatever color, whatever tribe, whatever part of the world. Whatever you're doing every day when you wake up, whether you know it or not, you serving God. How? How is everybody serving God, Keo Collins? Some might say. See how I reply to that. Now let me get into it. Okay, you got God and Adam. God blew the breath of life into Adam. Now Adam became a spirit. God is the spirit. So God blew the spirit of God, the breath of life, which was the spirit of God, into Adam. So we all have the spirit of God. Excuse me. Which doesn't make my point yet. Yes, God blew the spirit of God into Adam, the breath of life into Adam, which is the spirit of God. So Adam had the spirit of God. But Adam also had a flesh, which was the dirt and the water, the mud, the clay, which formed our outer shell called the body, called the flesh. So some people cater to the flesh. They do not serve God. They do not serve God. How can you say everyone serves God? Because some serve the flesh, the outer, what they see on the outer, what they see with their eyes, and what they hear with their ears, with the flesh. They're not using the spirit. They don't serve God. They still serve God. Let me break it down to you. Now, the fruit of the Spirit, the reason I use the word fruit of the Spirit is because fruit meaning like a tree. Fruit tree. Apple tree bears apples. A pear tree has pears. An orange tree, you find oranges on that. The fruit don't fall far from its tree. It's a saying that many people use and have said. Same with God, the fruit of his Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit don't fall far from its tree. When you see these characteristics right here, I am telling you from the first one to tell you, or you've heard it before, learn from it. Learn something, I would say. Let's learn something. Today, me and you. I'm going to learn while I speak. I'm going to look over my notes after and look at my video, what I learned out of it. Okay. When you see these attributes right here, these characteristics, you see God. That's what I'm telling you. Any situation where you see these things. I don't care if you see it for 5 seconds, 5 minutes, or 5 hours, or 5 years. My cheat sheet right here. Learn something. I got a cheat sheet. Yo, when you see joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, and an even temper, you see God. Everybody displays those things at certain times in their life. 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 hours. That's serving God. You serve God. The flesh could never create those feelings. I believe strong-heartedly, without the Spirit of God, if God took His Spirit away, we would be barbaric animals. We would not even be able to conjure up a smile. So when you see these characteristics, you see God. Everybody displays some of these characteristics. What else is God when you see God? You might ask, what else is God? God is love. Okay, so what's love? Many people have many interpretations and definitions of love. What do I say love is? Love is this. It don't fall far from the tree, and it's not far from His Spirit. When you see these things coming out of someone's flesh, directed and through to someone's spirit, they're like the fruits of the Spirit. They coexist together. What are they? Love. The most excellent way. I'll get into why it's the excellent way. Love is kind. It does not envy. Love does not boast. It does not have no false pride, thinking it's something that they're not. It is not rude, like, damn, get out my way. Nah, love is not rude. It's like, excuse me. It is not selfish. Love is thinking about you, not himself. He's thinking about you when you ain't even thinking about yourself. It is not easily angered. They might get angry, but not easy. Take a little bit to anger them, and it holds no records of wrong. They're not holding grudges. Oh, man, I remember 5 years ago you said this and you holding a grudge. That's not love. So I say a couple kind. It is not envy. It is not boast. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. So that's love. And when you put that together with joy, peace, kindness, when these things is in the midst, these things is serving God. So I would say from the beginning where I started from, first caption, we all serve God. Anybody that's listening to this and watching this, you got to admit, I've had these characteristics and attributes come through me, come out of my mouth, come into my ears by hearing them from other people, and come out of my mouth and displayed by my being and my bodily actions before in my life. I've displayed these feelings. I've seen these feelings. I've felt these feelings. And when you did, I'm saying that was God, and you were serving my master in heaven, the Father and Creator of all things, God. You were serving God, whether you knew it or not. The flesh doesn't serve God. The flesh is against God, the Spirit, and the Spirit is against the flesh. The two cannot meet. They don't meet as far as the east is from the west. The east and the west. Flesh and the Spirit never meet. So it's like, it's not I was almost serving God or the Spirit of God. It was almost, no. That's why I said if you didn't have the Spirit of God, you couldn't even conjure up a smile. The flesh is different from that. Now, why is love, and I told you what love was, the most excellent way? There's other ways to get paid. I might be a good robber. I might be a thief. I might do credit card scams and get by. That makes me happy. Well, when you get happy and you smile, you're serving God. When you do that credit card scam, you're serving the devil. But check it out. Anyways, why is love the most excellent way? I talk overall. I speak overall. As an overall existence of human beings and mankind and humanity, love is the most excellent way. Why do I say that? I say this because when you use these attributes and characteristics which I spoke of, love, peace, joy, not easily angered, doesn't boast, that's what's reciprocated to you. And all of this session, this lesson, the topic that I'm speaking on, I'm not speaking on godly people, religious people. I'm speaking on people who claim to not serve God, who live a regular, average, everyday life, everyday average Joe, haven't picked up a Bible, no scholar, no activist. We all serve God. This is who I'm speaking to and about. Why is it the most excellent way? Because these people who don't serve God, these regular average Joe, the regular average Joe, no matter what color they are, what race, ethnicity, no matter what race, no matter what ethnicity, when you're nice, you're a good person, they call it. Just a nice, good person. I don't serve God. I don't have no religion. Usually, people are nice, good people back towards you. When you're joyful, joy will come back your way. When you're peaceful, people will be peaceful towards you. Unless you're like some kind of idiot. Well, I won't even get into that. There's ways that it wouldn't happen, but I won't get into that. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that up to your imagination. Imagine on that, how that wouldn't happen, how it wouldn't be reciprocated. Some people don't got no common sense. But for the most part, it's the excellent way. But like I said, when you're joyful, when you're peaceful, when you're kind, you reap what you sow. It's the law of nature. What you put out there is going to come back to you. So if you do those things, your life is going to be more manageable. When you use these characteristics and attributes of God's love and God's spirit, your life, for the most part, is going to be more manageable, because what you put out there, the law of nature says you reap what you sow. Whatever you put out there is going to come back. So it's the most excellent way. Because when you put out all of this robbing, for instance, when you put out the robbing, thieving, lying, stealing, if not nothing else, you're going to be stressful. It's the stress. You tell one lie, you got to tell another lie on top of another. Same thing. You putting all that out there, it's going to come back to you. On high forms of it, on the worst things possible, murder, rape, lust, hatred. When you have all of these things working through your flesh, what you put out there is going to come back. That's not the most excellent way. You know what I mean? But then you still serve God, because you still have a smile on your face. If you can smile and see the sun shines on the just and the unjust today. Now, will that be that way in the future? Will it be that way forever? I don't know. But today, God's sun, the sun up in the sky, it shines on you. It shines on me, the minister, the activist, the rapist, the murderer, the just and the unjust. So, we all, just like God serves everyone, we serve God to a capacity. Now, even the one who did the credit card scam, he serves God. And when he smiles, he serves God. When he laughs, he serves God. Excuse me for 1 second. Excuse me. So sorry about that. I didn't cut my phone off before I started my video, y'all. They keep ringing and ringing. It's bothering me. It's throwing me off. But anyway, man, like the person, he's still serving God. What you reap, you sow. Laws of the land. The laws of nature. Now, I want to go into myself a little bit, using myself as an example of the fruits of the Spirit that don't fall far from the tree. The fruits of the Spirit don't fall far from the tree. Now, joy, peace, love, kindness, faithfulness. I know God used this one of the most things I had. I was loyal. I might have all of them at all times. No one has them all at all times. I'm just trying to make a point that we serve God at some point in time in our lives, in our days, every day. We serve God. He the one that make us smile. But anyway, like I said, faithfulness, I had a lot of faithfulness for my block, my friends, my crew. When I was a teenager, I was loyal to them. God said if I can get that loyalness on my side, he will be loyal to me. If he knew who I was, then I would have him. If I can get him to surrender and not just serve these attributes and characteristics, the fruits of my spirit, surrender to him, I could get him on my side. He will be powerful. He will be loyal. And now I am loyal to God. And now I am powerful at times, very powerful at times, because I'm loyal. And God teaches me I don't play with the devil. I don't switch sides with the devil. I don't mess with the devil because I don't want nothing to do with him. I'm loyal to God. So check it out. The Bible says that the word of the Lord, fruit of the Spirit, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, even temperament. There is no religion. There is no law. It says when you have these things, you're above law. Meaning the 10 commandments, all the commandments of God. And if you didn't know there was more commandments than 10 commandments of God, so there's way more in the Bible. There's a lot of commandments. But it says if you have all of these things, if you surrender to these things, you can come to a place. You surrender to these fruits of the Spirit, that godly nature, that God in you, you surrender to being joyful. I want to be joyful all the time. You see it as being godly. I like being joyful, and you like being joyful. I like being kind. I like being good. I like having self-control. I like being faithful. And you say, I like these things so much, I want more. Then you surrender to God. Now you have God in your life. Now, Okay, there is no law above that. You're above law. The commandments don't apply to you no more. They apply, but this is above those. When you utilize these things, you're good with God, basically. There is no law, there is no religion. You're above religion. So, that's a beautiful place to be at. Now, on the other side, catering to the flesh, lust, anger, hatred, bitter, strife, sedition, which causes war, hatred, envy, lust, jealousy. Now, when you cater to these things, you're not above law. You got to deal with all of the things that I'm about to say. I think there's 4. You got to deal with God, who said don't do it, His commandments. So He's treating you like a baby. You don't want to. That's what people don't want to surrender to God, because you treating me like a baby. You're telling me what to do. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not have any false gods. You get to a place you don't listen. I want to live my own life. You know what I'm saying? I'm grown. I'm 50 years old. I'm 40. I want to live my own life. So, therefore, God is treating you like a baby, because you're not above that law. God said if you cater to that flesh, and you're not above that law. You're not above the laws of the police. You're not above them. You're not above the judges. You're not above the judicial system. You're not above the system, because in most high cases, you commit murder, rape, theft, all of these things. There's so many things that you commit that go against the laws of the land. You might have to end up dealing with them. Some people don't. Some people go to work every day. They're just nice people. But they still have to deal with their anger. They still have to deal with the commandments of God. And if they're not above that, because they haven't surrendered to love, kindness as their master. You got to surrender to this for it to be where there is, for it to be above religion, for it to be above commandments. You still serve it. You're serving it every day, but you haven't surrendered to this thing being God. You haven't said these qualities are God. You haven't said not envying is God. You haven't said not being boastful is God. I want more. You haven't said not having false pride, having self-esteem over pride is God. You haven't said not being rude is God. I'm here to tell you today, these are God. It's not the being God. It's not the person God. But it's His attribute, it's His spirit. Right now, this is all we have. We haven't seen Him face to face. When you die, you will see Him face to face. But while we're here in the land of the living on this earth, these qualities and the spirit of God and the love of God is God. So when you do these things, little bit here, little bit there, you're serving God. You might as well say you're on the fence. Why not dig in and have more and reap and sow? So if you serve the flesh, you got to deal with the laws of the land. They're against you. You're not over them. God, when you surrender to the fruits of the Spirit, you're over them. God handle your problem. You might even go to jail, but God gonna handle it. He gonna be your lawyer, but hopefully you don't go. If God got a call for you to go, you might end up there, but hopefully you don't go. And if you do go, God gotta be with you even if you there. He'll get you out. Or if He don't get you out, He'll continue to tell you why you went there. If you was following these peace, kindness, goodness, self-control, and then you'll get into more scripture, you'll get into more, but against such things there is no law. You'll get more, so hopefully you can stay out, but God will be with you in all situations regardless. But when you follow the flesh, you got the laws reaping and sowing. You putting out all of this stuff. You putting out all of this hatred, all of this selfishness, you putting out jealousy, anger, and all of these things, that's going to come back to you. That's the law of nature. And you got your conscience that's also against you. Your conscience is saying that I don't serve God. Some people watching this now, when I first started, how we all serve God. Because that's going to be the title. I came up with that just now. That should be the title. How we all serve God. I don't serve God. I don't want to serve God. I'm not serving God. You still serve God, whether you want to or not. But anyway, like I was saying, your conscience telling you that you don't serve God. Your conscience telling you that you did something wrong, that you didn't do something right, that you had made a wrong decision, that you said the wrong thing. You got to deal with your conscience. But the fruit of the Spirit, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, evil temperance, against such things there is no religion. There is no religion when you surrender to these things. So love is the most excellent way, because when you give out love, it'll be reciprocated towards you. When you give out love, you sow what you reap, you sow. It'll be reciprocated towards you. The most excellent way is love. Even if it's talking to people, forget religion. I don't care if you're religious. I don't care if you follow the law. I don't care what you do. This is the way. This is love. You don't got to surrender to it yet. Serve it more and more before you surrender, before you know you want to surrender. But see these things as being God. These qualities and attributes are God. I don't know how. I want to bring that home. I want you to know that. Peace, patience, goodness, kindness. When you do these acts, when you do these, you have seen God. That is God. That's who God is. When you meet God face to face, that's who He will be. That's how He'll act. That's who He'll be. That's who He. So, to make my last point, I want to break it down like this. Because I was saying, that's who He be, that's how He'll act. So, say for me, for instance, I'll just use myself, an analogy, using myself, but I'm not speaking of myself, I'm just making a point. Say if I'm kind, peaceful, joyful, and I got some of these fruits of the Spirit going for myself. But I'm lazy, and I'm skeptical. I'm not an optimist, I'm a pessimist. Maybe I'm always thinking, that's part of my personality. That's what I want to get up. Personality traits. Okay, the pessimist part is part of my personality. I'm a pessimist. I'm not an optimist. I'm not talking about myself, people. Just making a point. I'm a pessimist. You don't like me, I'm a pessimist. You don't like me, I'm always skeptical. I can never just dive right in. You're like, why you don't never just dive right in? You always skeptical. You know what I'm saying? Why you don't always think like everything gonna be alright, yo? You like a pessimist. But also I'm that way, but I have love, I'm kind, I'm peaceful, and self-control, which was some of the fruits of the Spirit. Now, if you don't like my personality, which is skeptical, pessimist, and I'm lazy, say I'm lazy, you cannot like that, and that'll be fine with God, as God is my witness up in heaven. That's fine with God. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? God ain't going to judge you for that. I can't even judge you for that because it's the truth. I would be wrong in judging you. I would be misjudging you for that. So, you ain't got to like me for that. Just saying, regular people, you ain't got to like me for that. But if you don't like me because I'm kind, if you don't like me because of my long suffering, which are fruits of the Spirit, because I'm peaceful, always want to have peace with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, why you doing that? Or, you know what I'm saying? I ain't wild. I'm like a peaceful feeling, that tranquil feeling that you get, that God gives you. I'm just peaceful. I ain't loud and wild. You know what you're doing then? That's not a personality trait that you don't like. You're not liking what I consider as God. You don't like God, so you're not liking me. You're not liking God in me. You're not liking my godly quality. You might not think that. You just might like, I don't like that nigga, man. He always trying to act kind. Or he always trying to be a peacemaker, like he the peacemaker. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or chill, long suffering, like, dag, man, yo. I'm always like, me, myself, hey, yo, we could go a little bit longer, man. Nah, don't call nobody yet. Yo, we could figure this out. That's a long-suffering attitude. I'm ready to suffer a little bit more just to figure it out myself. Long-suffering, you like, yo, you always trying to go the extra mile. Let's just call such and such. And you don't like these things about me. That's not you not liking my personality or you not liking me. That's you not liking God. So then you have a problem. And I would call that fighting with God. Without even knowing you're fighting with God. How am I fighting with God, you might ask me? Fighting with God? You got beef with God because you got beef with godly qualities that's in me. I see those qualities and characteristics and attributes as being God. So you got much room not to like me, but little room, little to none, to not like the attributes and characteristics of God that I display. See the difference? There's a difference. So it's okay not to like me, world. Keo Collins, you ain't gotta like me. But if you don't like the godly attributes that I display, sad to say, but you don't like God. Because that's who God is. Love, peace, joy. Love is not envious. Love is not boastful. So don't be like, yo, I don't like him. He don't never boast. Or he always trying to make peace. Or niggas so friendly. That's the wrong way to go. You fighting God without even knowing you're fighting God. Just like you're serving God without even knowing you're serving Him. Hey, I'm out like that, man. You can get my book, lulu.com, LULU.com. Once again, I'm Keo Collins, KeoUGHCollins. My surrender is never. I will not surrender to circumstances. This thing I say to my son passed away December 2nd. June 2nd was his 6-month anniversary of his death. June 2nd, 2013. I ain't surrendered to that circumstance. I'm right back on it. Right back on it. That's the circumstance I don't surrender to. And like I said, little something. Peace. From Keo Collins, man. Later. I'm out.